Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Monday, February 28, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's take a look at some of the lead stories tonight. Guyana to lead talks on sustainable agriculture during Caricom meeting. Guyanese students in Russia not in any danger but being monitored, says PARAG. Millions of dollars in contracts signed and works began without tender board approval under APNU AFC. EPA now equipped to detect radiation from expanding oil and gas sector. And MAHAICA accident. DPP recommends death by dangerous driving charge against cop. Now for the news in detail. Guyana will be expected to play a leading role in talks on sustainable agriculture and lowering the Caribbean community's Caricom food import bill during the 33rd intersessional meeting in Belize, which starts tomorrow. Gerald Bryan reports.
This was revealed during a press conference hosted today by Caricom Secretary General Carla Barnett ahead of the 33rd intersessional heads of government meeting. During the press conference, Barnett explained that Guyana, represented by President Dr. Irfan Ali, is expected to provide crucial updates in the areas of food security.
What do we do in terms of increasing food production? We're talking about planting. We're talking about planting more in food in environmentally sustainable ways. The government of Guyana, in particular, His Excellency President Ali, is leading the charge there. There's some interesting and important undertakings that he has made in terms of investing in things like protected agriculture, targeting the particular food items that we import on a regular basis, and making investments in producing those. So those are the things that we're going to be expecting him to be reporting on.
President Ali has in fact already left for Belize for the intersessional meeting, which is being held in San Pedro, Ambergris Caye. During the two-day meeting, he will join other heads of government from across the region in deliberating on several matters. The topics will include the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the region, advancing the Caricom single market and economy, and regional food and nutrition security. It is also expected that the leaders will have discussions with the regional private sector, labor, and civil society. They will also discuss climate change action following last year's COP26 and the security situation in the region. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
As Russia continues to wage war on Ukraine, world powers continue to impose harsh sanctions on the Putin administration, which saw the Russian currency plummeting by about 30% against the US dollar and major airlines ending connections with the country. In light of this, the United States encouraged its citizens to immediately leave the country, but Guyanese officials have contended that the 11 students on scholarship in Russia are not in any danger. Find out more in this Amar Prasad report.
Today's Russian currency plunged about 30% against the US dollar after Western nations announced unprecedented moves to block some Russian banks from the SWIFT international payment system and to restrict Russia's use of its massive foreign currency reserves. An increasing number of airlines have already cancelled flights in and out of Russia as more severe sanctions continue to be made against the Putin administration following its massive invasion of Ukraine on February 24. On Sunday, the U.S. State Department urged its citizens in Russia to evacuate as sanctions with the potential to cripple the Russian economy continue to be imposed. When contacted today for an update on the welfare of the 11 Guyanese on scholarship in Russia, Minister of Public Service Sonia PARAG explained that there are no plans at the moment to bring these students home. According to her, they are not in any danger.
We have been in direct contact with the ambassador as well as the student. We are in direct contact with the students, and we are continuing to monitor the situation, but we are trying to find a way to allow them, to assist them with the finances that they need. So we're working through that right now with the ambassador and so on to Russia, but I don't foresee them to be in any danger where they're at. The only thing that we're looking at is how they're going to be able to get cash and so on to them.
Okay.
To be able to access that.
Nevertheless, the Public Service Minister assured that if the need arises, evacuation will be provided.
We are keeping a close eye on them. If ever the need arises for us to bring them home, we will do that. At the moment, we don't find them to be in danger, but also, like I said, we are speaking to both sides.
I understand.
We are speaking with the ambassador. I directly spoke with the ambassador, and he's written to me.
Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the biggest assault on the European states since World War II, has unleashed a barrage of Western reprisals, with US and European governments imposing sanctions on Russian banks and financial institutions. The Guyana government has already joined in the global condemnation of the attack and urged a peaceful resolution to the issues that exist. Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Minister Hugh Todd has also held a series of teleconferences with his counterparts from South American nations. He spoke with Brazil's Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Vice President and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Colombia. For the Evening News, Omar Prasad.
The Public Accounts Committee today heard explanations from the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs regarding the strange case of contracts being signed by the ministry and work starting without tender board approval. Here are the details from Jarrell Bryan.
In 2017, the Auditor General had found that 13 contracts valued at $27.2 million had been entered into by the Indigenous Peoples Affairs Ministry. Shockingly, works had started before these contracts were even approved by the National Procurement and Tender Administration Board. Called upon by the Public Accounts Committee to explain how this could have happened and what disciplinary action was taken, Acting Permanent Secretary Ryan Tulsiram had this to say.
Again, Mr. Chairman, there were errors where procedures were concerned. These errors were subsequently addressed, and the ministry did not err in this area again. The reviews on their performance appraisals were noted, and there were separation of duties in some cases.
Another highlighted case involved 29 contracts valued at $18.9 million, which were signed before approval from the Ministerial Tender Board. Again, Tulsiram put this down to errors in the system, which he said has since been rectified.
I'm guided that there was a breakdown in procedures. The same person who, the secretary to the Ministerial Tender Board, is the same individual who prepares the contract. So in preparing the documents for approval, she would have known, acted on the recommendations.
It was pointed out by PAC member Dharam Kumar Siraj that there were 11 instances where $3.7 million in invoices were dated before contract approval. This indicates that works had started before contract approval was given. Asked for an explanation, Tulsiram committed to providing a written one. Jarrell Bryan, The Evening News.
Prominent Guyanese businessman Nazar Mohammed of Mohammed's Enterprise has called for cohesion between the government and opposition as Guyana enters into newfound oil wealth. Shane Marks has the details.
Business tycoon Nazar Mohammed, who is largely known for his philanthropy and humanitarian work across the country as well as in the Guyanese diaspora, assured that he does not have any aspirations to join the political arena. Nevertheless, the seasoned businessman explained that he wants to see cohesion between the two major political parties and between the two major races of the country.
What I want to see in this country is a cohesion between the two major political parties, between the two major races, I want to see closeness. I want to see, that we can move beyond this gap, this barrier, and work together, to develop our country, to develop our people in an environment of justice, and fairness.
During an interview with this newscast, Mohammed applauded President Irfan Ali for the work he has been doing to propel the country and its people, specifically his One Guyana initiative. He also commended First Lady Arya Ali for the work she has also been doing to match the President's drive to enhance the quality of life in Guyana.
I think President Ali, you can see from everything that he has been doing, he is extremely interested in having this One Guyana. First Lady Arya Ali, it's her initiative, it's her brainchild, and we can see that she is an adorable woman. She has been working, overtime to get this on stream. She is a young first lady, probably the youngest first lady that this country has ever seen. She has a lot of energy, just like President Ali, and I'm confident that together, and with the cooperation of the opposition, we have a new opposition leader. I think that the time has changed for us to move away from this one-party kind of politics, and where we can work together for the benefit and for the betterment of the people of this country.
He added that with Guyana's new oil wealth, it should encourage political leaders to work together to create a cohesive nation.
This oil wealth, it even gives us more, energy for us to work closely together so that everybody can be part of this dynamic.
For the evening news, Shane Marks.
Since the emergence of Guyana's continuously expanding oil and gas sector, the Environmental Protection Agency has ensured that the necessary guidelines are followed by industry operators regarding the protection of the environment and citizens. To further ensure this safety is guaranteed, the EPA has invested in high-quality monitoring equipment. One such piece of equipment is the agency's new PAC-I radiation detection backpack, which is able to identify and monitor radiation levels in the air. Amar Prasad reports.
The Environmental Protection Agency recently acquired an equipment capable of identifying and monitoring radiation levels in the atmosphere, a mechanism which will prove useful in the country's expanding petroleum sector. The equipment values some $2 million. During a recent media engagement, EPA's environmental officer, Juanita Fordyce, explained how the device works.
With the emerging oil and gas sector, the country has seen an influx of, industrial activities as it relates to the use of industrial radiographers, radioactive sources. Quite a lot of companies, the supporting companies for the oil and gas sector generally bring in radioactive materials. We've seen an influx of radioactive sources. Now this backpack, if you see an officer walking around, it looks like a normal, cool backpack that you can walk around, throw on your back. But what it really is, it allows us to know what radiation levels the general public may be exposed to.
The equipment ensures that companies both onshore and offshore are keeping in compliance and not harming humans and the environment. The device has already been used at 4 sites onshore, but is yet to be used offshore due to the constraints of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, Fordyce explained that even before operators who wish to import radioactive material onshore can do so, they must receive authorization from the EPA or the Customs Department.
Our authorization process, when they come in, they're issued with environmental authorization or environmental permit. In the environmental permit, there are conditions that these companies must adhere to, and once found, not in compliance, when we do our compliance checks, it's an issue. Before even coming into the country, the agency requests a material safety agreement whereby the company has to demonstrate, or they have to show in writing legally, that these waste materials, once the half-life would have expired, it has to be returned to the manufacturer. If not the manufacturer, the company that it's actually coming from. Because in country, we do not have the capacity to deal with radioactive waste.
So far, all companies importing this material have been in compliance. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Coming up, 18 new COVID cases, 8 in ICU, and Royston King to receive benefits pension from City Hall. Do stay with us. More news ahead.
It happens. Your septic tank is full. All the waste from your toilet goes into your septic tank through the sewage line. When your tank is full, the two most common indicators are an overflowing tank and an overflowing toilet. It is recommended that Sevon's Waste Management empty your septic tank every 2 to 3 years to avoid any embarrassment. And before you can say, shh, it's gone. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 218-1156.
You taste the cheese, you hear the crunch. Grab a zoomers and zoom into fun. And with the first taste, you feel like you don't want it done. Blast off to a whole new place with every single bite. The cheesy goodness bring your taste buds alive. So let's just zoom into fun with this wheel-shaped light. Zoomers, zoomers, zoom into fun.
In just 2 years, oil production earned Guyana a whopping $608 million. These funds are being used to build bridges, roads, and other infrastructure to improve the lives of all Guyanese.
Wash Bay operators, are you looking for that unique service to elevate your business? Well, come on down to your #1 industrial store, Sylvie's, and invest in an undercarriage pressure washer tool. That's right, impress your customers by now washing under their vehicles easy and efficiently with an undercarriage tool. We have in stock different types that offer a wider range of services and can increase your revenue without having to invest in expensive ramps. Your customers are going to leave satisfied. So what are you waiting for? If you can't make it to our 31 High and Hatfield Streets location, we can deliver in and around Georgetown. Give us a call on 227-6226 or WhatsApp us on 623-7755 or visit our website sylviesonline.com. Sylvie's Industrial Solution, proudly serving Guyana for over 4 decades.
This is Mocha.
Superbet brings to you endless options to win with Chick Chick, Roulette, Virtual Sports, Virtual Daily Game, Sport and Live Betting, plus hundreds of online games. There's something for every player. Make your lucky bet today at any agent across Guyana and online at superbet.gy. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 years and older to play.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. Guyana today recorded 18 new cases of the novel coronavirus, taking the total positives detected to date to 62,921. There are 8 persons receiving care in the ICU, 32 in institutional isolation, 441 in home isolation, and 8 in institutional quarantine. Recovery stand at 61,219. As authorities continue to encourage vaccination as the surest means of fighting off the life-threatening novel coronavirus, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony revealed that less than 10% of the country's population have taken their booster doses. Amar Prasad tells us more.
In November 2021, Guyana began to administer booster doses to its population, and to date, less than 10% have turned out to receive the jabs, which are intended to enhance one's immunity against the novel coronavirus. This was revealed by the Health Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, during today's COVID-19 updates.
Booster doses, we are now at 50,373 doses. So that's just under 10% of the population.
This 10% includes both children and adults. The evening news has reached out to the Ministry of Health for a breakdown of the figures, but up to news time, no information was forthcoming. So far, 423,024 or 84.2% of the adult population have received the first dose of a COVID vaccine, while 327,775 or 63.9%, have received 2 doses. For children 12 to 17, 33,529 or 46% have received the first dose of the Pfizer vaccine, while 24,202 or 33.2% have received both doses. Meanwhile, the health minister continued to encourage people to take the vaccines, noting that many options are available locally.
We continue to use J&J. We have been using Sinopharm, Pfizer vaccine, and AstraZeneca. So these are the typical vaccines that we've been using. The Sputnik vaccine, which we've been using, there are some people who are eligible for their second dose. We still have some of that second dose for those persons. And when people require their boosters, we are boosting them with the J&J. So we continue to work. We have these vaccines available, and we're hoping that people can come out and get them.
For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
Shane Marks joins us now to report that Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony on Monday addressed a peculiar issue impacting the national COVID-19 vaccination drive, whereby children appear eager to get the jabs of protection, while their parents and guardians are hesitant to grant their approvals. Here are the details.
On Monday, the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with UNICEF, commenced a COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy workshop that will specifically focus on encouraging persons to get inoculated against the virus. More than 1 year after the vaccines began rolling out, scores of persons still remain hesitant to get the jabs. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony today highlighted that the vaccination effort in the 12 to 17 age cohort faces a major challenge as parents are not permitting their children to take the doses even if that child wants to.
Now, one of the big challenges that we are having with this particular group is that even if the older children are interested in getting their vaccines, we are not able to administer that vaccine because we require parental permission. And if the parents do not give that permission, then we would not administer the vaccine. And we have been talking about this repeatedly. We have been trying to reach out to parents, trying to talk to people about the importance of this.
Dr. Anthony said there is room for improvement regarding the way people perceive vaccines.
I think a lot of people feel that by their behavior, that, the COVID-19 pandemic is over. So, we need to throw caution to the wind now. We don't have to wear masks. We don't have to take all the precautions because that's not so important. But that's not the case because we're still having persons who, when we test them, they're coming back positive, and we still have persons coming into the hospital.
Against this backdrop, he revealed that a significant number of the locally hospitalized patients are unvaccinated. The workshop will be conducted over the next 3 days, providing information on the importance of getting vaccinated against COVID-19 and clearing any misconceptions that persons may have about the COVID-19 vaccines.
The reason for us being here this morning is to strengthen that conversation, to ask you, our participants, to be the faces who will take the step towards encouraging those who are not yet vaccinated to be vaccinated, to give you the information so that you're in a better position to speak to some who might be your family members, your neighbors, your friends. Because the fight against COVID-19 is not as yet completed. We still have a long way to go.
For the evening news, Shane Marks.
The Georgetown Mayor and City Council on Monday decided that former Town Clerk Royston King is to receive his pension, gratuity, and other benefits. More in this Rupasini Narayan report.
At the statutory meeting on Monday, Mayor Yubraj Narayan proposed that since the Local Government Commission had approved benefits for former Town Clerk Carol Suba, the same must be extended to Royston King. King served as Town Clerk for the municipality until January 2019, when he was served with a dismissal letter from the Local Government Commission.
Since the Local Government Commission and the Council had approved the benefit of gratuity, pension, etc. for the former Town Clerk, Ms. Carol Suba, which I believe is in preparation. I propose to this House that the same courtesy that was given to Ms. Carol Suba, pension, gratuity, and everything, I propose the same for Mr. Ryston King.
After the decision was approved, the mayor instructed that both Suba and King be handed their benefits at the same time.
With clear instruction of this council, Mr. Ryston King must receive all his benefit, gratuity, pension, etc. And the same must go hand in hand with Ms. Carol Suba. All two must approve at the same time, and both parties must receive it at the same time.
King had challenged the decision by the local government commission to fire him for gross misconduct after a commission of inquiry had recommended criminal charges against him. His dismissal was reversed by the High Court in September 2019, paving the way for a reinstation. During his employment as Town Clerk, King was paid $408,560 monthly, inclusive of allowances. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has recommended that a death by dangerous driving charge be instituted against the officer who was behind the wheel in the force-issued pickup which caused the tragic four-vehicle collision that resulted in the deaths of two young persons earlier this month. Bisham Mohammed has the details.
On February 2, 21-year-old Christopher Bagwandat of Monrepo, East Coast, Demerara, and his girlfriend, 16-year-old Sharida Prasad of Bath, West Coast at Berbice, died in a four-vehicle collision at MAHAICA, East Coast, Demerara. The car, driven by the young man, PNN 8852, was reportedly stopped by traffic ranks at Perseverance, Maikoni, East Coast, Demerara. The young man pulled in the corner, but as the cops approached, he reportedly drove away at a fast rate of speed. A mobile patrol was alerted and went into pursuit. This resulted in a high-speed chase culminating in a four-vehicle collision involving another motor car and a canter. The police vehicle had 3 officers, including the driver, all of whom had received injuries in the accident. The family members of both the deceased had heavily criticized the police, claiming that their response to the situation was unprofessional. Today, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions issued a statement noting that legal advice has been returned to the Guyana Police Force to charge the driver of the police vehicle involved in the fatal crash. The DPP said, I quote, based on statements contained in the police file, legal advice has been given to the police to institute the indictable charge for the offense of causing death by dangerous driving. End of quote. The DPP has also ordered that a preliminary inquiry be conducted since the charge is an indictable one. The DPP has also instructed that further investigations be conducted and the police file to be returned to these chambers for further legal advice by Monday, March 7. Bisham Mohammed, The Evening News.
And now for a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbor Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, March 1st at 2 hours 30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, the Berbice River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, March 1st at 16 hours 35 for a period of 1.5 hours.
They re-elected GRFU president to rectify financial audit issues, and Pepsi Mike Paris Under-16 Championship moved to bi-monthly schedule. Details of these stories and more in the Sportcast, sponsored by MacCorp, coming up on the other side of the break.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Looking for fresh, tender, and flavorful meat? Then check out Rossignol Butchery for steaks, burgers, sausages, minced meat, fish, and chicken. For a tasty, attractive cocktail, we have a wide variety of packaged deli meats and cheeses to decorate your platter. We also stock a wide assortment of canned goods, seasoning salt, sauces, and marinade, all in a highly hygienic, welcoming atmosphere with warm and welcoming staff to cater to all your needs. Rossignol Butchery, we meet your needs. 73 to 74 Church Street, Georgetown. Telephone number 223-0004.
John Lewis Styles introduces Eddie Domani, Vertical Sport, and Alberto Cardinale, a line of very affordable men's clothing, especially suited for the workplace. Get polos from $2,800, dress shirts from $3,995, shirt jacks from $5,500, and even jeans and dress pants from $5,995. We can supply large companies with special sizes and colors upon request. Come visit us on Waterloo Street and ask for a quotation. Umbrellas, computer bags, footwear, and women's workwear are also available. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Win big with Ultra Lubricants. Win a Toto backpack every week. To enter, purchase any Ultra Lubricants. Send us a picture of your receipt via WhatsApp to 604-5810. Winners will be randomly chosen weekly. Promotion ends February 28, 2022. ISG, the best opportunity to make the right choice.